Brie Larson does not want to be taking questions about Hollywood feminism, specifically questions about Hollywood pigeonholing female actresses. She says those questions have become a problem for her. And in fact, in a recent interview, she had her publicist intervene to change the subject and avoid the question. Roll this up over at fandompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. This is what she had to say in an interview with The Telegraph to promote her upcoming stage play, Elektra. She was asked why she thinks some men are threatened by her casting as Captain Marvel, and she said, "I don't know. I don't pay attention." We know she definitely did pay attention back in 2019, then obviously leading up to the Avengers Endgame film as well as the Marvels film. She was very definitely paying attention, and she was most definitely paying attention, especially back in 2019, where she was running to every single left-leaning pop culture outlet she possibly could to spread her message of feminism. It is all very well documented. So interesting now that she's saying she doesn't know and she doesn't pay attention. Writer Claire Alfrey, who conducted the interview, then detailed she asked if she was not paying attention, asked her if not paying attention was her way of dealing with the misogyny. And Larson said, "What I would like you to see is that by continuing this conversation, you are putting me in connection with something that has nothing to do with me." Well, that's an answer. What I would like you to see is that by continuing this conversation, you are putting me in connection with something that has nothing to do with me. Well, what does that mean? What in the world does that mean? Who knows what that means? Does that mean that everything Larson was doing back in like 2018, 2019, she was all just being paid to do? She didn't care about any of that stuff. It was all just a PR move by Marvel and Disney, having her pay to do all of that stuff. Is that what that means? I don't know. That's what comes to my mind. That's the first thing that pops in my mind when I hear this. Alfrey then shared she attempted to question Larson about the fact that fans see female heroes as an aberration because Hollywood pigeonholes female actresses. Larson said, "I don't think there is a way for me to answer that without it becoming a problem for me." Alfrey then detailed that Larson's publicist intervened and the subject was changed. So Larson doesn't even want to take questions like this anymore. My guess is she doesn't want to take it because it doesn't matter what answer she gets, she's going to get flack either from people on the right or the left. And she should get flack from people on the right, given the fact that she's been promoting feminism for at least the past half decade or more. We're 2025 now. We're talking about things that happened 2018, 2019. That's 6-7 years ago. She had no problems answering questions like that in the past. We'll get to that, but I do want to point this out too, is that these comments appear to be in line with her response when she was asked about Johnny Depp's film Jean du Barry opening the Cannes Film Festival in 2023. So let's just listen to what she had to say here.
A sort of outspoken and very vocal advocate for Time's Up and Me Too. I'm curious how you feel about Johnny Depp's film opening the festival, and do you plan to see it?
You're asking me that?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't understand the correlation or why me specifically.
Oh, just you were on the advisory council, celebrity advisory council for Time's Up. I think the Johnny Depp case has been very well played out in American and international media.
Understood.
There's been some controversy about that film being chosen to play out of competition in open Cannes. So I'm just curious if you will see it and how you feel about its selection here.
Well, you'll see, I guess, if I'll see it, and I don't know how I'll feel about it if I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you can see there she's kind of playing dumb. Like, why would you ask me this question about Johnny Depp's movie, even though I was on the Time's Up Advisory Council and I've been speaking about feminism and all of these things for the last couple of years? Because we go back to 2018. What did she say? She infamously said this.
40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about a wrinkle in time. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what that film meant to women of color, to biracial women, to teen women of color, to teens that are biracial. And for the third time, I don't hate white dudes. These are just facts. These are not my feelings. And I'm really sorry, Lindsay. Please don't kill me.
So there you go. I mean, that's what she had to say there. I don't know if you guys could hear that the audio wasn't that great, but she says, I don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what that film meant to women of color, to biracial women, to teen women of color, to teens that are biracial. And for the third time, I don't hate white dudes. These are just facts. These are not my feelings. If you want to listen to the whole video, you can on fanapulse.com, because she goes on to advocate for inclusion writers in film contracts. And in fact, she would speak about those inclusion writers in 2022 while she was promoting Captain Marvel. Or I think this is the Marvels, actually. This is what she's told in Style. She was talking about Captain Marvel, I guess. She says, the movie was the biggest and best opportunity I could have ever asked for. It was like my superpower. This could be my form of activism, doing a film that can play all over the world and be in more places than I can be physically. As for what her activism was, she said it was the inclusion writers, right, which mandate racial quotas for actors and production staff. She explained, inclusion has to be a choice. It's not happening naturally. You really have to fight for it. So she has been outspoken about all of this stuff for a number of years. And all of a sudden in 2023, she's baffled why she's being asked questions about it. And now she's saying it's a problem for her and she doesn't want to answer those questions. So something has clearly happened here. We don't know what. I mean, you go back to 2019, she appeared at Tina Brown's Women in the World conference in New York, where she commented on the Me Too movement, saying, I was so grateful for the strength, and continue to be grateful for that strength because it has created this tidal wave of conversation that I don't feel like has stopped or will stop anytime soon. It, across industry, changed things. It certainly changed my industry. We still, of course, have a long way to go, but it, without a doubt, is the reason why we have this historic shift, is because of the bravery of the men and women who came forward and spoke up about the abuse they were experiencing. She then says, if I have any sort of privilege, I immediately want to spend it. Whatever that currency is, I'm spending it immediately. I'm not going to hold on to it and hope that I put it into some account and it makes more money. I want to spend it because we need the change now. And I'm really not afraid of falling on my face because I've done it my whole life. I'm just kind of like, bring it. So she said that in 2019. 6 years later, she's saying, answering questions like this would be a problem for me. Has her publicist intervene and change the subject. So something has clearly changed. Obviously, we go back to 2018. She posted this on Twitter where she's like, hashtag time's up. Together, we can end harassment, discrimination, and abuse from the empower imbalances we all face in the workplace. Hashtag why we wear black, and tell us why you stand with Time's Up Now. And share this video with like all of these other actresses, Reese Witherspoon, Rashida Jones, Kerry Washington, Tessa Thompson, and Tracy Ellis Ross. And she was obviously on that Time's Up board, as that reporter back in 2023 noted. So something has changed. I don't know exactly what. She's not answering questions. She's saying that answering questions that she would have no problems answering in the past, promoting a feminist agenda, she's saying are now a problem for her. And she's having her publicist change subjects, stepping in and stopping interviews, being like, hey, come in. We got to change the subject here. Don't want to talk about this anymore. So something has clearly changed over there with Brie Larson. My guess is that potentially feminism might have run its course. Brie Larson was one of the poster childs for that, and it has significantly impacted her ability to get work in Hollywood now. People see her as a persona non grata because she is just so outspoken, or was outspoken with the feminism, and primarily due to her role as Captain Marvel with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And maybe she's learned that Hollywood will use you up and throw you away after they're done with you. And maybe you shouldn't chase the ideology du jour, especially when it is an evil ideology such as feminism. But let me know what you guys make of this. What do you make of Brie Larson here not answering the question, saying that if she does answer the question, it's going to be a problem for her? And to begin with, saying she doesn't pay attention to any of this stuff when we know she was appearing at award ceremonies and lecturing people just back in 2018. So let me know what you guys make of this, and what do you make of Brie Larson's massive about face here? Let me know in the comments below.